Hey Self-Love fam, it's EJ and Brit, your favorite content duo from Self-Love Inspired. And we're super excited because we're celebrating 3 years of marriage with a new fun date idea that I'm excited to try out for the first time. And if you guys stick around to the end of the video, we're gonna be also sharing some insights that we have learned on our journey so far, being 3 years in marriage. So stick around and stay tuned. Well, we are on the way. We're actually doing a cooking class date today for our anniversary. First time doing it, something that Brittany wanted to do for a while now since she all of a sudden is a master chef. Honestly, this is our first time at this new date thing or trying this out, and honestly, I didn't even do too much research, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go.
We just got back from this date. Now we got to talk about it.
First thing, it wasn't a cooking class. That right there, you know, coming into it, I think we had expectations of that is going to be a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
I had this idea that when you said cooking class, I was like, all right, like Gordon Ramsay, like we're going to have the pans out.
Yeah.
We're going to have the fire.
We're going to get our hands dirty, you know what I'm saying? Put the apron on, and honestly, like the advertisement and then the reality of what we did today was not matching up. Unfortunately, the lady was so nice. Like the chef lady, shout out to her. She was so nice.
We'll just say it wasn't a cooking class.
Yeah, it was not a cooking class.
But it is our 3rd year anniversary, so we were gonna make the best of it. We came through with carrots, the cucumber, the rice paper, and there was like flower petals, and we made a cute little product.
We made the best of the situation. Yeah. We just had high expectations coming to it, and what's going on? Is this it? Like, that's it? So, you know, overall, we feel like we end up, just to say the least, we end up going to another restaurant nearby because we're still hungry. We ate like 3 spring rolls, you know, that we created, and yeah.
It wasn't filling. It was like very light. It was like an appetizer. So we literally left. It was like starving. And
yeah, we're starving.
But the good thing is you can make unlimited. But I mean, how many times do you want to eat the same?
We're gonna definitely try this experience again at a different class later on.
And it's gonna be the real stove.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make sure it's the right way and make sure it has all those other elements. The advertisement isn't false, because I couldn't see if they had any videos or any real photos of people actually experiencing this idea, but
there was reviews that were really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was amazing. It said we're gonna learn techniques and create sauces and stuff like that.
We didn't even create
the sauce was already made. It was already pre-made. The ingredients were already laid out. It felt like a middle school class.
But it was the lady's first time, so obviously. Yeah. And it still was nice, you know, don't get us wrong. But like EJ said, we booked with an expectation based on the website's description. It just didn't match up at all.
Yeah, so we ended up getting food after, and at one of our favorite spots here in Fort Lauderdale. Now we just really want to get right into the lessons that we learned, just to share a little bit about our journey these last 3 years. It's actually wild. So let's get right into it. All right, here we are. So this is the part of the video I'm sure you guys are waiting for. The question is, when you watch this video or you've seen the title of this video, it's about what marriage is really like and what to expect, right? And honestly, we had no expectations coming into marriage. Like, we had, I would say, the standard expectations of it. You know, we knew that it'll have its ups and downs. And we did the things early on in our journey before getting married, asking the right questions, doing premarital. Still, there's situations or, you know, life that comes up that wouldn't prepare you other than going through them, right? Like, other than going through those situations.
I agree with everything that EJ said. You know, before we decided to get married, we tried to do the best we could, like just informing ourselves, reading books, reaching out to pastors, doing the premarital counseling, like you said, you know, talking about finances, talking about as much as we possibly could before we got married. You know, when we think about the question, we did ask each other this before we made the video. What has marriage really been like the last 3 years?
Yeah.
And it was hard for us to, you know, we really had to sit down and think about it. It's a lot of things, but the top 3 things that EJ and I have taken away is, number 1, that marriage is sacrificial. The second is that marriage is a mirror. And the third is that marriage is rewarding. And I want to talk about how it's been sacrificial. Let's think about sacrifice. In what ways have we sacrificed?
Yeah, when you look at sacrifice, it really does connect with what God's been always saying in his word, right? About true love is real sacrifice. Like real love is actually sacrifice. And what that actually looks like is doing the things that, you know you need to do, but you don't want to do it, right? Putting your pride aside, forgiving each other in moments where, you may feel right, or vice versa. Sacrificing temporary dreams or aspirations for, the main goals and the main vision, or for things that you're doing in that season that we may not be ready for, right? Initially. So, sacrifice for me, like as a man, you're going into marriage, you're not going to know everything, right? And you're going to have to sacrifice your pride on reaching out to other people, right? That been through what you're going through.
Trusted people, and when he says people that have been through what you've been through, but came out on the other side, because you don't want to go to someone and they didn't come out on the other side.
Yeah. You want to go to, obviously, if you're married, you want to go to people that are married, right?
Successfully married.
Yeah, and people that you use your discernment, right? You got to use your discernment and make sure you're going to people that you see something in them and you're like, I want that, right? At least, whatever. But the most important thing, you're reaching out to people, you're seeking guidance, you're seeking wisdom, and that's a sacrifice. That's going to be a sacrifice as an individual, right? And I'm sure there's certain sacrifices you had to make as well. Just what would you say some of the things you feel like you had to sacrifice?
So speaking of sacrifice, we had to sacrifice that whole park aesthetics.
Yeah, those mosquitoes are biting your boy up, boy.
And they always do that. The mosquitoes always attack him, but not me. But when they attack me, they don't attack him.
Yeah, there's some different mosquitoes out here in South Florida. So wherever they are, I hate them.
So yeah, the mosquitoes messed up our aesthetic, but I think everything you said was absolutely spot on. I don't even know how to add to that, but I just do know that we have become more selfless the longer that we've been together. Like from the beginning, like when we think about the beginning and we first met, there was so much unlearning that we were doing together, and regular learning, unlearning and learning. We have grown so much because we have become more sacrificial in serving one another as a husband and a wife. And I see the growth, and that's because we're choosing to do that. We didn't stop. We didn't let things get in the way and stop us from sacrificing and choosing one another. And so I just see the benefits of how far it's gotten us. It's crazy.
Yeah, which actually leads us to the second point we will make, is that there's a mirror. You can either grow together or grow apart. And that is so true. Like being on this journey, you're definitely going to go through those ups and downs. It depends on how you look at them. You have to look at them either in a mindset that it's a lesson, right, out of this circumstance that you're going through, or it's going to be, ultimately a curse to your life, right? If you have that mindset that you guys are not going to grow, you guys are never going to get, come back from whatever you guys are going through. Which we had to do that in circumstances during our journey, right? Where we had to reshape our mind or renew our mind daily, right? It really grew us closer together because we had went on this journey knowing that no matter what, we're going to come back to God, like pray about it, seek wisdom, seek guidance, seek community, so we can continue to see the vision that God has given us. You want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about our vows and the promises we made to one another, and how we want to see each other become the people that God called us to be. It's so hard to explain. Like there's things that you'll do that will bring something up in me that I need to reflect on and challenge and take to God and then grow on. And there's been like so many instances with that. And my goodness, I can't even think of any right now. It's a lot. It's 3 years, but it's a lot, y'all. Like it's crazy. But when you look at that mirror, you can choose to say, I'm going to keep growing and keep working and I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to expose certain things that are in my heart I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, yes, God created me a certain way. Like, I have my personality and things like that. But coming into this marriage, I also didn't want to be like, oh, EJ has to absolutely accept me 100% as I am. Like, at the beginning when he met me, you know, I'm not the same people. By the way, EJ and I met like 2019, 2018. So that's a long time ago. At that stage, I had a little attitude on me. Didn't have the principles that I have now that are helping me be a stronger person. You know, back then I had a little attitude, and if I came into the relationship and I'm like, oh yeah, EJ's gonna accept my attitude like 100%, like, how's that fair to him? That's something that I actively want to work on. And there's situations where, you know, it'll expose that in me because he's my mirror. It'll expose that in me, and it's like, when I see it, am I going to continue to be the same, or am I going to try and work on it? That's what I love about the fact that this marriage has been a mirror, and it's been a mirror in all the most beautiful ways. I just firmly believe that EJ and I have gotten better every single year because we're actively working on things and communicating. And doesn't mean everything's perfect. Heck no, but it's damn good. Like, I love where we are. I feel like that brings us to the third point.
That marriage is worth it. Looking at marriage from the outside of what maybe the world or what people are saying around you, even your personal family, how that may look like. You know, I come from a single family household. He has a background with her family where it was multiple marriages and certain things didn't work at certain times in their life. And those things can discourage you when you're looking at those things, when you're looking at marriage as a whole. Just the different things out there on the media, what you're seeing, you know, the statistics about marriage and divorce rates, and
the culture,
and just the culture,
the dating culture,
essentially. So it's a lot out there that I can see why people can be discouraged of it, want to stay away from it, like, I'm not getting married. At one point, we kind of thought that before we even met each other. There was probably thoughts like that as well, you know. Never really thought about marriage like that. But
yeah, I mean, I'll just say my testimony now, but before I met EJ, I think it was like a year before I met him, I literally told myself that marriage is just a piece of paper. I'm just not going to get married. I'm just going to try and just have a relationship and not get married when that time comes. Like, that's literally the point that I arrived at. I mean, this obviously goes really deep. Maybe we can do another video on it, but all this to say that my mind did change. My heart did change about it when I read the truth in the Bible, you know, how God views marriage. And it was very different from what I was used to, but it just felt right. If I wasn't exposed to that truth, how could I be in this beautiful space that I'm in now? I would have like prevented myself from being in this moment, you know?
You would have blocked your blessing. And sometimes we do that, right? We can get in our own way. A lot of times we do that. And if we don't have an open mind, open perspective of what God can do in your life, it can definitely halt your blessings, you know, prolong it. The thing that drew us together is that we both were at a place in our life where we're open-minded to, I mean, at the time, she didn't know God, but she was still had an open mind of whatever that was going to happen in her life. So she was open. When we met each other, we were open to talking and exploring that and, you know, building that foundation in that relationship. And it got to the point where marriage was spoken about, right? And it led to this beautiful journey. So you do have to have an open-mindedness when it comes to getting married. And then when you're in marriage, you still have to have an open mind. It helps spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. You just reach your goals faster. You grow together. And you can see each other's journey, which is a really exciting thing. We're just looking back at some of our old photos and videos, just where we were and what we were doing in those times. And just to see how far we have come is an amazing thing to experience together and look back on. So it's definitely worth it. It's definitely something that God designed for everyone to have access to. Maybe not everyone will get married. If that's your desire, you know, God said he will grant the desires of your heart. So if that's really your desire and you really want to walk in that and you really want to explore that, just bring it to God, invest in godly sound advice, right, online or at your church.
Boundaries.
God will lead you to the right things, the right resources that you're going to need to continue that journey.
You know, I'm also thinking about the person, not just the single that stumbled upon this and is watching this, but I'm also thinking about young married couple that maybe just got married recently. You know, we were inspired to make this video to just say that you're not alone. Changes are inevitable and growth is inevitable. And, you know, we just want to be an encouragement. And if you guys have any specific questions, you know, leave in the comment. Maybe we can make a video on it. But our whole goal with this is that we just want to present another perspective and just share our testimony and show the possibilities. God can really change your life.
Yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, God bless you, and I hope you were encouraged, like Brittany was saying. And just to be transparent, we tried to make this video all day today, and it was not going according to plan. We went through a lot of hurdles and roadblocks from so many different things, from traffic and the weather and mosquitoes and just
music loud
and just
equipment,
just different things that
we planned all weekend.
Yeah, and even just being on camera, it just certain things, it wasn't just going right. But anyways, we know that we wanted to create this video because we know that God wanted to share this with someone, share this word with someone, even if it's just one person that can be blessed by this. Take that as a lesson as well, that no matter you're going through those trials and tribulations and those little hurdles, as long as you have that vision that God has given you, keep going, push forward, stick with it, right? It's gonna be worth it at the end of the day, even if it's just one person. We appreciate you guys. We thank you guys for watching our video. I know it's been a while since we created a YouTube video like this, but our goal is to create more vlogs behind the scenes, take you guys along the journey as we grow and as we develop in our faith and our walk together as a married couple. We're just looking forward to the future. You're just seeing what God was going to do through your life, anyone that's watching us, our family, friends, strangers all over, and also what he's going to do in ours as well. So please do all the YouTube stuff, subscribe, like to the channel.
If you want to come along our journey.
If you want to come along this journey, and comment below any questions, like she said before, anything that you guys want to see in the future. And we're really excited to create another video for you guys. So we'll see y'all soon.